the best time of the week. Time to listen to the three brothers. Forget your garlic and your leeks and listen to the three brothers. It's fat-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and free from gluten and priestcraft too. If you click this accidentally, stick around. You might learn a thing or two. Chuck on a shirt, tie and shorts, and crack yourself a brew without any further ado. We are coming at you. Three brothers, juxtapositions, and midnight ramblings for sure. Three brothers, don't forget you get what you pay for. Three brothers, so come on down, don't even worry about it anymore. Three brothers.
Three brothers. Hello. Welcome to this week's podcast. It's time again for your favorite
Three
brothers.
brothers. Two of the three.
Minus one. There we go. Thanks for joining us again this week. Or if you've accidentally clicked on this, we hope you stick around. So, that's where we are.
Around and come on down.
And before we even get into it, I guess we should explain Ammons will be gone for a couple weeks now. So three brother down to two brother. Brother down! Brother down! There's only two in the wolf pack now for a while. But
He's off
we're gonna,
hunting aminals.
all right.
All right. I made this this week. Let's see.
Follow up. Follow up. How did we do from me to you? I wanna follow up. Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard that. I was wondering if
Yeah.
I was hoping the yeah was going to make its appearance again. So that's good.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be there.
Yeah. Follow up and
All right.
check for the Pepsi at the bottom of every one of these.
All right. Should I do this one? So, first things first. Maybe I don't know. Should we make the weekly update a separate segment, or just keep doing them together? Whatever, doesn't matter. In terms of what's been going on, not a lot from my side. Again, just working. But it was my, I think, 12th wedding anniversary over on last week and end of last week since the last podcast anyway. So that's cool. 12 years, not bad. Good effort. And that was fun. We went out and had a date and a dinner and things. That was not bad. And then aside from that, yeah, not much else going on. A lot of work. We're about to have a cyclone hit here, which is cool. It's a category 4 or 5 cyclone. About to rip through WA tomorrow
Whoa.
morning and then over the weekend. So that'll be cool. But I think by the time it gets down to where we are, it'll fizzle mostly out. Cyclone Narelle, I think it's called. Real Australian sounding. And just a little follow-up on a comment I made last week about ward conference, where the people have ward conference dinners and they do ward conference visits. It seems to be the general gist that most people don't do that. So it seems like it might be a thing that we do here in Australia or in our stake. So I just thought that was interesting and it was cool to know. And anyway, I kind of love that we do that here, and I think seems to me like it could be a nice thing for everyone to do. But
It did
I'm
sound
glad we
nice.
do it. Yeah.
Sound like a very
So
nice
there you
thing.
go. Yeah. And
Much
how about
nicer
you,
than
Micah?
stealing chocolate cake.
Yes, a little.
Did anybody mention that, by the way? Did we get away scot-free?
I don't think anyone really commented on that. But you should show the photo that you should show the image that you guys generated on that.
Oh man.
That was great.
Oh man, I could go look for that. Yeah, that was
I'll have it here somewhere probably.
that was
That was gold. I've got it on my phone.
yeah.
Anyway,
So
you
for
go
those who
and I'll find it. Mm.
For those who forgot about that, that was Topher's experience of the chocolate cake that happened that happened last week. Here's
Here it
the
is. Oh, you've got it.
uh yeah, I mean, everyone's got it now. Exactly
And
the
it's funny
same
because
time.
it kind of looks like it looks like me, and it's actually he's actually wearing it's like I'm actually wearing my suit like from my like you must have used my profile pic or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's got the same suit and the tie. The tie's like correct as well.
Don't
Yeah,
touch.
that's yeah, don't touch. Yeah, that's me, cake
Yep.
thief.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So
Oh,
yeah, well, not much news on the IVF over here yet. It's Ashley's birthday today, and so she
yes.
said she wanted to
Happy
spend
birthday.
it. She said she wanted to spend it sleeping. So I'm assuming that's gonna be
Good call.
That's gonna be her birthday to
It's a good
herself.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. We had the monthly get together with the Joseph's boys in this area where we have our dinner together, and it's evolving and growing, and so we Ashley and I we have now a soft serve ice cream machine for these events. We have a hot dog roller for these events. And
Awesome.
dude, and the hot dog roller holds like it's crazy, like somewhere like 30 to 45 hot dogs at once. Like it's massive.
Wow.
It's a dude, it's a massive one. And then dude, it's crazy. When we were growing up, like I remember like certain things, like you know those electric cars that kids had where they drive around their lawn or their driveway,
Mm,
their driveway and a little bit out in front of their car or their house or whatever. Like those were like 300, $500. And it was
yeah.
like if like for like my family where we were like my dad would not buy McDonald's, right? Like that's how cheap my dad was. And it was like
Mm,
we were always like you're always jealous of these things, and then you get
mm,
older, and then like the boomers are like, why don't you save money for these houses? And it's like, bro, houses are now like $1 million, and these items that you're telling us to not buy are now like pennies. Like this thing
mm,
used to be a $500 item. You can now buy it for like $50 or like $100. Like that's not the way it used
mm,
to be. Like,
mm.
meat slicer. It was like, wow, you own your own meat slicer. It's like that's like 3 grand. Now it's like that's like $80. So it's
Yeah.
just crazy. It's just crazy how
China,
things
man.
yeah. China's
Like
changed
China
things.
makes they just steal every IP possible and then make a cheaper version of it and then flood the market with it. And it's like, well, you can have anything you want now. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, except for a house.
except for a house because they can't dupe those.
Can't can't dupe the houses. BlackRock's made sure of that. So yeah, so but you gotta stop drinking your hot chocolate and your avocado toast. It's like
Yeah.
the only thing that's the only thing people can afford. Like that's it. That's it.
I could not eat those. I could not eat those for the rest of my life and still not have enough money. You know what I mean? There's not going to
Yeah,
make a difference. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you save those the rest of your life, you will not be able to afford a down payment on a house today, let alone what it'll be when you have that money in 5, 10 years. So yeah, it's like different life, man. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fun. We're doing all these things. We just now bought. We're changing things again. We bought this now three like it's like a slow cooker or hot cook thing where it holds three of those kind of pots that you can like keep
Mm.
stuff warm in or cook in it. And so we're gonna put chili in one, and we're gonna put like cheese and beans in another one, and so anyway, it's getting fun. Had
I
a
think
pretty good
Ammon.
time.
I think Ammon has one of those. I can't remember what it's called though. But yeah, the thing that keeps things warm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Nice.
having fun. It's having fun with things like that. Um, yeah, so hopefully we keep doing that. That's a blast. The only other thing
That
that
sounds good.
yeah, it's really fun to see everyone and participate with everyone.
I just have a
Um,
question. Does that hot dog roller, do you just put raw hot dogs on it and it cooks them as
yep,
well? Or do you,
yep,
whoa,
yeah.
wow, what an age we live in.
Dude, it's so delicious too. Like it's like it because it never burns it and it like perfectly
Yeah.
cooks it as it
Oh
rolls.
man, that's awesome.
It, oh, I love them. And like so yeah, we'll have the chili with the hot dogs. So you have chili hot
Ooh,
dogs. Yeah,
Melted cheese.
with a little bit of melted cheese on top. Like it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I've said it's basically just my excuse once a month to eat chili cheese dogs.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. So people are like, "Are we
Stop
gonna eat
it.
the same thing every month?" And I'm like, so long as I'm providing it, because
Man, if I had that hot dog roller, I'd just have it permanently have hot dogs rolling on it. You know what I mean? Like
just all
just
day,
refill
just
it.
all
Just
day.
refill it whenever it's there's a space there. All right. Just rolling
It
hot dogs.
it would be dangerous if the three brothers lived too close to each other. I mean, we would have a shed with all the stuff just in
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Where I gotta go. I gotta be right back. Are you going to the shed again? No.
So true.
So yeah, the only other thing I would say that happened this week, which is just hilarious, is that in our last week's rant, we talked about the individual from Stick of Joseph who showed up in Discord, and I was like, oh wow, that's just fascinating, and we're like, hey, it's cool, good to see you, and then he like vanished for like the whole week, so we're like, oh okay, I the assumption is that he must have just found out our positions on priestcraft and stuff, like positions taken from the standard works, the scriptures, Book of Mormon, some of those old fashioned
Never heard
things.
of him.
Never heard of those things, versus modern interpretations and so forth, provided by whoever you want to throw in there, right? Pyramid of Truth. And so we thought, oh, hey, he's gone. And then he showed up in the comment of last week's video. Was like, man, that was kind of weird. Like that, I thought that was kind of a weird call out, but I'm still here. And we're like, oh wow, shocked. I didn't think you were still be here, and nothing. So yeah, nothing again for another week.
Yeah, well
So
he commented that on YouTube, not in Discord, so
oh, he commented. Commented another comment that was even more kind of cryptic in Discord. So in Discord,
Oh
he
he did.
actually yeah.
Ah.
So in Discord, he actually commented and said, "What's up, everyone? Was confused at the strange shout out from the lads on the pod. I'm happy to talk with you." And
Well
I just
talk.
said, so I said, "Sorry, mate, you hadn't responded in a week, so we assumed that you had already bailed. It happens all the time to us." You not responding in like a week and then coming back with this comment is actually far stranger to us than our shout out, believe it or not. But then again, we're insane. So, and then nothing. So then nothing again for another week. So like maybe we were just a week too early. I don't know on him figuring out like oh that's their stance on the priestcraft, the doctrinal biblical scriptural position. I better be, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. But if you're still around, buddy, sorry. You just keep coming and going and we don't I don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. So
If I
oh, the
do
other
that, can
thing.
you see? Sorry, can you see
Oh,
my reaction if I do that? Can you see this? Does that
one
show up?
hundred, 100. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
I can see it. Yep.
Good.
That's pretty cool. The other thing I would say here that may or may not upset some people, I don't really care, that happened this week is that I jokingly said something about getting this Three Brothers as an LC sign, so people know that individual from TikTok and YouTube and stuff. He's a hilarious individual. I think he's hilarious.
I think
I'm
he's hilarious
sure
too.
I'm
Yep.
sure he offends everyone, and I'm sure he needs to repent, But I love him. I think he's hilarious. And so Ashley and I actually went and we got ourselves an LC sign. So we're we are official. We got ourselves an LC sign. It's on our way. I think that's really cool.
Mine
So
and me and Emin got one as well, and they've arrived. I've got it,
so
and I can show a photo if you want. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Unless, do you have it, Micah? Do you want to show it?
oh, I do
I didn't
not.
take. I didn't. Oh, yeah. I'll download it and I'll show it. I didn't take it out of its wrapper yet because I'm not ready to hang it on my wall. But have a look at this bad boy. Where am I? Yeah. Does that come up?
No. Oh, there it is. Got it.
There
Yep.
it is. Yeah. So it's a neon sign with our picture behind it. It's pretty cool. I think it'll look good when it's mounted and turned on. So yeah, boy,
It's so
awesome.
cool. It was so funny because like when Ashley and I were sending in the image and doing it all, I then told Ammon and Topher that we were doing this, and then they were like, "Dude, we want one too." So then they contact the sign company, and then the sign company started to get confused because there was these
Yeah.
idiots from Australia and this idiot from America both buying this random sign that looked identical. So she thought she was talking to us in Australia. So for a while there, it was so funny. She's like, did we not send you a sign? And it's like, no, no, you sent it to my Australian brothers in
Yep, we
Australia.
confused the heck out of them.
Yeah, so that's hilarious. So fun week, fun week. It well worth it. A piece of history, not only who made the sign,
Yeah.
but also just the sign itself. It's a hilarious thing. I'll maybe
My
one of the
wife
few
was like,
things.
my wife was like, "You got a neon sign? Why?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we got it from LC Signs." It's like,
Oh yeah. I've
that's
just
all that
been looking
matters.
for an excuse
Yeah.
to support him. Yeah.
And they actually were really good, really easy to deal with, really
Oh,
quick.
seriously.
I got the thing in a week. Like, yeah, sent in a picture, they designed it, they made it, and they sent it in a week, like to Australia. Crazy.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Very except for the getting the confused part there for a little bit, like very quick there shipped ours. So yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Mm.
So maybe maybe we'll make a couple funny videos like in his style opening the box. We'll see. That's really fun. So part of history.
Genius marketing. Genius marketing
Oh,
on their part.
seriously. Yeah,
Mm.
he got me. He got me. So we
Mm.
found an excuse. We got it. It's now part of history. So
Yeah.
one of the
And that's why I said to the wife, I said, like, because she was like, "Why do you need this?" And I was like, because this three brothers is now formed four going on 5 years of my life. You know what I mean? Like it's like part of us now, you know what I mean? Like this need something to commemorate this. So yeah, it's good.
and I
It's
wouldn't have
cool.
even thought to do this unless Topher had created like this background. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "What the heck? This could be something."
Mm.
So anyway, that was great. I love it. So that was this been a
Mm.
eventful week. Eventful week.
Mm.
All right.
And then the second part of that is following up on the commitment from last week, and the commitment was to be anxiously engaged without being compelled. And if you recall, the quote that we finished on with our spiritual thought and our commitment was from Joseph Smith, and it was about not relying, believing in the prophet, you know, having a testimony of him, but not relying on every single thing, like not having to follow him in everything, but following him, but not being compelled to follow him or compelled to do things, but doing things because you want to, because you're trying to be Christ-like, but not following Brigham Young when he plants his plants. You know what I mean? Like, I like that
Yeah.
example. Like live a good life because you want to be Christ-like. Don't wait for the prophet to tell you what to do. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's been trying to do that. I certainly have.
Yeah. And then if your crops fail, you're just like you blame it on me, and it's like
Oh, it's Brigham's fault.
it's Brigham's fault. I planted when he's planted. And it's like that's not how this works, folks.
Yeah.
Not how this works. So yeah, so as far as my update on that, I have been trying to be anxiously engaged this week. I think I could have done better on this one. Of the things through the week, I've been pretty good at remembering them and trying to make an effort. This is one of those ones that I think I feel like I could have done a little bit better at because there was a couple things I really wanted to take the initiative on and I forgot to do. So this is a good reminder. This is why the follow-up's good. So I'm gonna do that this week.
Nice.
I'm gonna do better on that one
Well,
this
there you
week.
go. That's what's good about this follow-up is that you actually have an introspective look about how you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I
All
did
right.
not do so good. All right,
All
hook us
right.
up. Hook us
Hook
up.
us up, brother.
We've got to rant. Yeah, we've got to rant. Oh, it's the rant of the week. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
We'll never get old of these.
No, these are
Never.
these are fantastic. So there's my Diet Pepsi. I'm always so happy when it manages to throw that Diet Pepsi in the bottom of these images. They're like the best. Okay, so yeah, man, this the thieves, man, talked about this a lot this last 3 months, man. It kind of seems to ebb and flow, where it's crazy how much like there's been like blatant stealing and things that have gone on with stuff that's been going on with myself, the Designer Bus, Joseph's Boys, and so forth. It's just been crazy. But the last 3 months have been insane, insane. And I just had this one brought to my attention that this existed, that this was created 3 months ago. I don't know who these individuals are by name, but you go through what they've produced, and it is the kingdom of God or nothing. It is who is the strength of the Lord's house. Rise up, warriors. This is all about the Joseph boys. It's all about the those who will the remnant, the few who will redeem Zion. We have Joseph Smith, the return of a prophet, or the Joseph Smith return. We have the redemption of Zion. We have the 10 tribes. They have a pledge system that they do. They have a weekly newspaper that they call the Watchman on the Tower or something like that. Dude, like I have not seen a more blatant like attempt to literally rip off everything that we've trying to do, while at the same time they're trying to sidestep priestcraft was hilarious, hilarious. So they said here, so, which once again showcases that they know who we are. They're clearly just ripping off the entire program from us. But they said. They said, when we are down in the temple, we covenant that we are willing to sacrifice everything we have, even our lives, to the building up of King God, the kingdom of God. We take this very seriously, right? So we're definitely not going to be, practicing priestcraft, right? However, because we believe this message is the Lord's, we refuse to sell it. However, the production of things like documentaries, videos, articles, etc., all are available for free, but are financially made possible by supporters. I'm sorry, what? 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 So they're provided for free because somebody paid for them. Somebody gave you money, and so this sidestepping of priestcraft is hilarious. I love that. Well, it's not priestcraft if it's this way. So anyway, this has been one of the most blatant thefts I've ever witnessed, and this is just really really sad. The especially when you start going into these topics like the Joseph Smith return. It's like, well, Mike, are you taking entirely the credit for Joseph Smith return? Yes, I am. And and I'll tell you why, because of what I said in 2019 and 2020 when I made the first videos on that. There was only 3 other places I could find, and to this day, nobody has given me anything pre 2000, right? To when I had produced this stuff, nobody can give me anything. There's only 3 I could come up with, and I'm okay with naming them. One was the Joseph Smith Foundation. One was the an apostate called One Who Is Watching, who is not a member of the church, who was shown to me at one point in time. And the last one was a single chapter in a book by a Skousen, where he mentions in passing that Joseph Smith will return. And all 3 of them, the only thing that Hannah was basing her entire thing on was a quote from Parley P. Pratt. And the One Who Was Watching was basing all of his stuff on Rigdon and Sidney Rigdon's writings. and the other one was basing so anyway, none of them were doing it based off of 2nd Nephi 27, the parable of the nobleman and olive tree, Joseph Smith's patriarchal blessings, 3rd Nephi chapter 21, 3rd Nephi chapter 24, 25. Like nobody had done it using the collection of body of work that we had, like I had done. Nobody. You can't find it anywhere, and I had given it out for free, and I had, obviously called it Joseph Smith to return. So the fact that like these videos keep cropping up now that are called Joseph Smith the Return, it's just pathetic. And not only that, last thing I'll say about this, I'm seeing familiar names like you, Clint. I'm seeing familiar names in the comment section of these videos, and it just makes me sick. It just makes me sick. Like you people should know better. Like, do you think that Joseph Smith, if you believe in this, do you think he's going to be okay with welcoming you in these ranks that you're trying to be qualified to be a member of? If this is our sort of behavior, and I would just declare definitively, like you're ludicrous if you think that. Like you're ludicrous. So, and this was just
Mm,
created, this channel was just created 3 months ago. And as you can see by the views, it's 170 views, 170 views. But look at the return of Joseph Smith,
mm.
1.6 thousand views. So, once again, the only reason why anybody knows anything about this channel is even getting the 1.6 thousand views is because they've pilfered something and that wasn't theirs and they didn't give credit for it.
Good rant. Loving that. Um, I haven't heard of these guys, right? So, which is good, probably. But so they're calling it a podcast. What? I'd have to check out what they actually do. They assume they don't show their faces or anything. They just
They
talk
do.
and oh, they do. Okay, so yeah, have we never heard of these guys? But
Kenneth Wilcox and Jaron O'Driscoll.
yeah, righto. Okay, well,
And a lot of their people that are commenting in their videos and they're connected to them seem to be, strangely enough, Maui or what's the word that you use?
Maori
Mary.
or
They seem to be like that. So
Maori. Yeah, that's
yeah,
how they
so
pronounce it.
they might be loosely more affiliated or be connected via Ammon and Topher than myself. So
Hmm. The names
because
don't ring a bell or anything.
because
Yeah,
Ammon does
I,
know a
I'll
lot of people like that, so
I'll
that
have
would fit
to
this bill.
check them out just in case I do recognize them. But because it wouldn't be the first time there's been people from Perth that have just appeared out of nowhere or whatever. But yeah, I mean, so there's way too many correlations there for it to be like a fluke. You know what I mean? Like if you had one thing maybe, but it's just like just nonstop over and over and over again, just you know content that you've created. So but like I don't know, like it's funny because I think more people hearing about these things good. But yeah, if you've blatantly ripped something off, maybe mention it, maybe mention some sources or whatever. But the absolute grossest part of this whole thing, as you mentioned, was the Venmo bit. And I mean, it again, gross. When you see what they posted about it, in a way, it's just like every other priest crafter. Like I said, I mentioned the one last week that they take Venmo payments during their podcasts or whatever. If you want to get your chat mentioned or whatever, like pay us money. In a way, this is worse because they're kind of lying or deceiving about what they do. We do this for free, but pay us money so we can keep doing it for free. And it's like, you're not doing anything for free then. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so deceptive. And in a way, to me, that's even worse. Like at least it's obvious in the other ones. They pay us money, you get your comment talked about or whatever. This is like, yeah, we don't make money, but pay us money, and we won't make money. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
What money?
yeah, like it's just, I don't
That's
know.
exactly
That's
right.
gross. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, good rant. Worth
Good
ranting
rant.
about.
Worth ranting about. I just and you know what? In the pre and post conference, mostly the pre conference, there's going to be a lot of more on specifically that. So if you want more of that kind of
Mm.
rant, tune in for that.
We can't get enough of Micah rants. So
Except for you.
Comment, comment, comment,
Oh man.
comment of the week. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Ay!
Aye, aye.
Yay. That's good.
Comment of the week.
So this is kind of hilarious, actually. When I saw this, I just laughed. I was like, man, because it's funny. I mean, especially after you've made content for years and things, and it can be you can take things one or two ways. You know what I mean? Some people would get offended by this and get annoyed by it. I think the funniest thing is just laughing at stuff like this and leaning into it, honestly. So this guy, King of the Hill 7042, he commented on our last post, our last YouTube video. That beta intro makes me want to leave the church and have my name removed from the church records. So we're like, cool, we'll crank it a little louder for you, baby. Three brothers.
Three
Yeah, I mean,
brothers.
you know, it's funny, man, because like what we're kind of doing. I think it's safe to say that we're kind of doing the Lord's work a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, this is extracurricular, if you might say. This is not required of us. This is all um, because of our love of the gospel, our love of our family, our friends, our Zion of Bus community. It's all because we love the gospel and love sharing it and talking about it. And I had a companion on my mission who I love, but and I trained him actually, and so he was green when I was with him, obviously, and I remember a car driving past us one day when we were walking, and the car yelled out like "flipping more," probably swearing, but like "blood Mormons," shaking their arms at the window as they drove past, and I just laughed and waved. Right, I'm like, "Hey," and my companion, right, and this is what I'm saying. This is the dichotomy. This is the way you can take things like this. My companion goes, "What? Oh, come back here! I'll kill you!" Say it to my face, like this kind of stuff. Say it to my face. I'm like, dude, chill. Like, who cares? It's like, let it
Was he
be. Order of
was he Tongan?
he was Maori. He was
Oh,
Maori.
was he?
Yes. Or I should say he is Maori. Yeah. So it was, it's funny, and it was like it just, I don't know, I always remember that. And just the two reactions, and I'm not saying I was cool or good for having that reaction, but to me, like someone criticizing me for my love of the gospel or for my service in the gospel, it doesn't, I don't know. That's them criticizing the Savior even. And it's like, I don't know, just love them. I don't know, like who, you can criticize us. You can criticize us. How does that, doesn't matter to me. I feel sorry for you, kind of. So anyway, we lean into it, bring it on, you know, enjoy the beta intro. And look, leave the church if it's that bad for you, but I hope you don't. I hope you have a laugh, rethink your ways, have a laugh at it like we did. So yeah.
Okay, now it's my turn. Oh, I'll kill you!
I'm gonna kill you. King of
I'll
the Hill,
kill you!
7042. I'm gonna kill
I know where you live. I know you, mother.
you. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I don't know what came over me there. Yep. So anyway,
Like, yes, we're gonna quit. We've only been doing this for nearly 5 years, but we'll quit because you're
yeah,
trying to hurt our feelings. Yeah.
yeah. You called us gay, bro. We are the three. We are the three gay brothers. So like,
Yeah, boy.
we're millennials. You are not gonna. I mean, we're insulted if there isn't a couple gays thrown around. So like, welcome to the club, buddy. Welcome to the
Uh,
club. So
yep.
we're just sitting here providing the alternative to priestcraft. That's it. So you know what I think's beta? I think what's the most beta thing in the world to be is a Judas. And that's what every single one of these priestcrafters is, who makes money and gain off the gospel.
Mm, true
I don't
that.
care. I don't care if they're sitting there in their muscle shirts or if they're sitting there and they're like, let's go train. I don't care. They're practicing priestcraft. It's one of the most beta. It's one of the most weak. It's one of the most pathetic things that you
Imagine
can
begging
do.
for money. Begging for
It's
money.
begging for money off of the
Talking about the
blood of the
gospel.
Savior.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy. That is
it's
crazy.
pathetic. It's
That is.
pathetic. So yeah, that's the most beta thing, man. If as far as masculinity is concerned, I don't care if you're 200 pounds and lifting weights. I don't care if you're 180. I don't masculinity. How is your testimony to Savior, and what are you willing to sacrifice for him? And you know, not be a Judas, man. That's where my line in the sand is, as far as that's a good man. That's it. And so
That's alpha, baby.
That's alpha. Let's go. Let's go, twin. Let's do this. Let's do this. Send us your money. So anyway, by the way, that is dude, I need to do videos just like seriously mocking all these priest crafters. Well, you know what I really need? What I need to do in my priestcraft, I need to get an even longer beard, shave my head, and be like, well, the Trinitarians, you know, it's all about the Trinitarians, and you know, there's one God and Paul in the Greek and Trinitarians. Really? Okay. Wow. Let's see what he has to say this week. Well, the Trinitarians are back at it again. Oh my goodness. You're doing the Lord's work, battling those Trinitarians. How many converts are we getting battling the Trinitarians? Anyway, I need to do a let's see if you can name that priest crafter event. I need to do that and just see how long I can go and just see here.
That would be fun, actually. That'd be good. Man, okay.
Questions. Baby's got a question. Have you got a question? Well, here's a place to get it answered. It's the question of the week.
Question of the week. Yeah. The absolute best. All right. Question of the week. Is there a Pepsi here at the bottom? Okay.
Not just a delicious candle.
Hey, that's the only thing apparently that they have chosen not to steal is the Diet Pepsi. So that's apparently you can't brand that, you know. So anyway, can't get money from that. So here's the question: Jacob went into Egypt with approximately 5 years remaining in the famine, lived there for 17 years, died, was buried in Canaan. Why didn't he and his family return to their promised land once the famine was over? And so this is an interesting one because there's, you know, I can't say definitively what the answer to this one is, but the typology here, I think we can find a lot of where the answer is, right? So we know that Joseph in Egypt being sold into Egypt and that whole event was a typology for the things to come in the future or our day. With the building of New Jerusalem in Jackson County leading up into the second coming. And we know this because Ether chapter 13 says that. For which things there has been a type. So for as Joseph, and in fact, if you go there in Ether chapter 13, it mentions not only the whole process, but it actually also even mentions the father going in the land and dying there. Like, so if you go there into Ether chapter 13, so you say, the New Jerusalem should be built up upon this land under the remnant of the seed of Joseph, for which things there has been a type. So once again, it's so funny because people will always like bag on me and they'll be like, how do you know it's a type? Why do you say that, Micah? Like, that's just your opinion, bro. And it's like, I wish you guys would spend less time listening to priest crafters, more time just reading your Book of Mormon. Like, it literally, word for word, for which things there has been a type. So it's like, I didn't make this up, right? For as Joseph brought his father down into the land of Egypt, even so he died there. So the fact that he stayed there and died there was supposed to be something that apparently had reference to this type, right? Wherefore the Lord brought a remnant of the seed of Joseph out of the land of Jerusalem, that he might be merciful unto the seed of Joseph. Wherefore the remnant of the house of Joseph shall be built upon this land, and it shall be a land of their inheritance, and they shall build up a holy city unto the Lord, like unto the Jerusalem of old. And they shall no more be confounded until the end come, when the earth shall pass away. So once again, this is not, there's a difference between the New Jerusalem coming down from heaven and the New Jerusalem down below being built. And as we clearly have the points of reference laid out here and a million other places, the building of the New Jerusalem here happens before the New Jerusalem comes down. And so, but why did he die there? Why did he die there? A couple things there as far as the type's concerned. If we understand the type, right, and Joseph and his brothers coming in, who are they in the type? Well, they are the 10 tribes of Israel returning as a body, right? So we have Joseph, the tribe of of Ephraim and Manasseh, who are the ones who are going to primarily be responsible for the redemption and building of New Jerusalem. And then 2 years into this famine, that is when we have the 10 tribes return as a body, 2 years into it, which is, by the way, the same age that the Savior was when the wise men showed up and delivered their gifts. So it's all the same typology. But then they show up and they live there. But then here's the thing. How long do they live there? Do the 10 tribes just come to New Jerusalem and they what? They just immediately go over to Old Jerusalem and get their land inheritance? No, that's actually not what happens. They stay in the heights of Zion for some time. They stay here for some time. And what you'll find by looking at the macro last day timeline, there is at least 13 years worth of events, at least 13 years of events that take place before the return of the 10 tribes, or his father dying in the land and returning. And so there is actually a period there. So why did he die there? Why did he stay there the remaining years? I Part of that answer is that fulfills the type. That fulfills the typology, right? And what do we have with when they finally do go out? They take Joseph's bones with them. They actually take the bones with them, and they get into what? Ezekiel and the Valley of the Dry Bones. You have this idea of what? What makes this dispensation different? Why is it that in the typology of Joseph in Egypt that there's death, and a lack of a complete fulfillment, and in our day something's different? The difference is the resurrection. The difference is the Valley of the Dry Bones. Actually, there isn't dry bones that march back to the land of promise, because that's what they did, right? They marched the dry bones of Joseph back to the land of promise. But in this case, Joseph is a resurrected being, is going to be leading this march. So we have this typology where, why did he die there? I believe he had to die there because he had to stay there, because that was part of the typology. Why didn't he get to leave? Why wasn't that leaving? Because just like us, they weren't ready for the redemption of Zion. They weren't worthy of it, and they were stuck there in that condition until they could get out. And the same typology that we see there is exactly what we see in the fulfillment here. It's always tied to, or closely related to, or as Jesus said in the Doctrine and Covenants, the apostles taught the resurrection of the dead, for these are the things which you must look for. And so yes, we're looking for resurrections. We're looking for these Valley of Dry Bones and the ultimate fulfillment of these things to take place. So that is why Jacob went to Egypt and died there and lived there for 17 years. So once again, the typology there matches pretty closely. Almost exactly.
Dude, man, I read this question and it seemed like such a innocuous sort of question, and that answer was just better than anything I could have imagined for this question. Do you know what I mean? That was great. What a good reminder, and like another good history lesson, and something more to look forward to. That was really, really good. Really good answer. I love a good type. I love a good type and shadow of things to come. And that was solid, man. Well done.
Topher likes his rags to riches. He
I
likes,
really do.
and this is
really
here
do.
from your
You know me well.
bones and rags to riches.
Here we go. I do. I love a good rags to riches story. Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I've probably said it. That's why you're saying this. Joseph in Egypt is probably one of my favorite. I think it's got to be one of my favorite stories of all time. Yeah, so
Yep.
good.
And this is it. This is the ultimate rags to riches. What's the biggest form of rag? What's the biggest form of down? Death, man. That's it. Oh, death, where is thy sting? That's it. And to go from death, a valley of dry bones, to the new Zion, the new Jerusalem. Talk about a rags to riches situation. So
And
yeah,
and famine, man. Like,
yep,
you got to imagine that. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be awful, and it would have been awful in their time, and it's gonna be horrible when it happens here too. And like, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, just I'm sure we'll talk about this in the news section of this podcast, but right now with everything going on, like, there's already hints of not famine, but like shortages of all sorts of things, and the way people start panicking, and just like you just realize how fragile civilization is. Do you know what I mean?
oh
Like, how
yes.
fragile we're just teetering on the edge of like absolute collapse all the time, and it's amazing that we don't. It just somehow keeps working. But it's going to be really, really bad. And I mean, how blessed and lucky we will be to have somewhere else to go. You know what I mean? And the 10 tribes to come back in that period and things. It's like, you talk about rags to riches, you talk about the worst it can be and the best it can be. And you really do have that in that. Yeah.
That dichotomy, that
The
juxtaposition.
juxtaposition.
So anyway, that was a question I saw and I thought, oh, ooh, I would
Good.
love to talk about this some more.
That was great. I'm so glad that was the question of the week. That was really good. Yeah.
And the channel free, channel free brothers for this week's headlines. With your anchors Topher, Micah, and Evan. Get your week's headlines. Channel free.
Unbelievable.
That's
Just
disgusting.
so good. It's just disgustingly good. And
I,
what AI can do, it's just crazy, eh?
I love it. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
love it.
me too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it it yeah. I don't even know how to describe my feelings about AI. It's so good, and yet so much is at risk because of it.
Oh,
But it's
dangerous.
so good. Yeah.
Uh, yep.
All right. Headlines from your three favorite anchors on Channel 3. Okay. All right, let's go through this. So, yeah, as I was saying, Australia checks couch cushions for spare oil and finds none. Nation reportedly has like 3 weeks left of oil and is now considering running on vibes. It's true. Can I just quickly ask, what's going on in America with that on this right now for you guys?
We're completely fine. I mean, a little bit of raise in the gas prices because oil is based off of a global economy that they all have tied ships together. So they've all agreed that like if there is a raise in oil somewhere else, they'll all just match that oil price.
Mm,
And so, which is why around here in America, when you see gas stations, in a lot of cases, they'll all have just the exactly the same gas price. Um, but yeah,
I
gas
sent
prices have
a
gone up here, but
I sent a picture through, yeah, this one here. If I Let me just share this one quickly. I'll drop this one off, but I'll just show it. Tell me when you can see that bad boy.
yep, can see it.
Yeah, so that blows my mind, right? You guys are basically not feeling anything and maybe a slight rise in prices. Look at this here. Petrol prices since the Iran war. Look at all the list, right? Like, of course, like the UAE, Dubai and stuff, 6.4%. Like, that's nothing, right? Like, anyone can cop a 6.4% raise and anything. So the USA, like, it's up there. Like, so on average, you guys are 16.6% more expensive fuel. But look at Australia, 39%. That's crazy, man. That is
And
crazy.
the
And
16.6 isn't really a good reflection of the US because it's like in some places like California, I'm sure it's up by like 50%, but like in
probably,
other places it's like 10%. So like
mm,
it's the that would be the average across 300 million people across a very large area. So
let me just, while I've got can you see my screen right now?
yeah. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, hang on. I wonder if this will, yeah, see. Have a look at this. Yeah. So fuel in Perth. I don't know if you can see this if it's too small or whatever, but this is probably unleaded fuel, which is like just generic, what you guys would probably call gas. So we're at $2.60, $2.60, $2.60 on average. If there's a way to change, yeah, that's ULP. Let's change it to diesel. Watch this bad boy. $3.10, $3.20, $3.20, $3.20. This is per liter, by the way, people. So all of you Americans watching this, our fuel is $3.20. Well, for my car, it's diesel. $3.20 a liter. You guys could pay by the gallon. That's 4 liters. We're $3.20 for one. For a quarter of what you get, we're $3. And what's your fuel price probably now?
Around
What's your
three.
what? So you're getting $3 for 4 liters. We're getting $3.20 for one.
Yeah,
This is what
you're
I'm
about
talking about. This is
400% more
this is
expensive.
crazy. Now, here's what's wild about this. I'll stop sharing this so we can go back to the picture. Here's what's wild to me about this is Australia has nothing to do with this Iran war. We're not even involved. We haven't done anything. We're not involved in it. We're a million miles away from it. We get our oil and our fuel. By the way, WA or Australia, we export loads of oil. We just don't refine it here. So we export tons of it. And I'm like, man, what are we doing? Can we not refine our own fuel for a second? Maybe do that. Anyway, we export. Australia is just stripped of resources and sold everywhere, right? That's what we do. We are very resource rich and we export a lot. And yet somehow Australia never does, like, we do well, but we're not doing that well when considering. We just get pilfered for our resources. But we don't even get our fuel from that area. Like the Strait of Hormuz or whatever. That's not even where our fuel, like that's a blockade or whatever. We don't get our fuel from there. We get it from Asia. So what's going on? These kangaroos, they're killing us. Blame the roos, man. I just don't know how to even
He's
explain it.
stealing the gas.
He's he's running off with it. Um, he's got it in his pouch and he's running off with it. But yeah, I don't know if someone can explain it better than me, comment on the video or in Discord or something, because I don't know. I think we're being price gouged. They have $50 million fines right now for people who are price gouging us too bad, and Australia has, it was just over 30 days. It might have been 36 or 30 odd days of fuel left in the country. Tons of fuel stations have zero fuel already. And people, and this is, what's worrying me is it already is reminding me of COVID. So, and this time it's not a mandated lockdown because there's some virus going on. This time it'll actually be because there's no fuel. And because there's no fuel, there'll be no food on the shelves. And we've already seen videos of people freaking out. But guess what they're buying again? Toilet paper. Did you guys have that happen in America when
Oh yeah,
COVID hit?
toilet
Everyone was
paper.
buying all the toilet paper disappeared. So that's already happening because people are just, and then someone sees, so one person goes and buys, 10 packets of toilet paper. Then someone goes, oh, he's getting toilet paper. Oh, you know what? I should get toilet paper. And then he buys all the toilet paper. And then all of a sudden the toilet paper is all gone. And so this is already happening. And so in some of the outlying not countries, cities like Darwin and such, their Coles and which is our supermarket, already has nothing on the shelves. So it's already starting to happen here. And I want to know why. There shouldn't, I don't even think I don't even really think there's an actual fuel shortage. I don't understand how there is. So something's not right. And I feel like, again, we're not even involved. Something's not right. So anyway, we checked our couch cushions, couldn't find any more. We're running on reserves and we're copping it, man, because Trump's got
It
this war
happens.
going on.
What? Once again, saying Trump gives us far too much credit. We're owned at this point.
Yeah,
We're owned and
true.
occupied at this point, Pip. Um, what happens if a war breaks out? Like this is just like this is just so like everything. Your drones, like what happens if
Yeah, what if an
if
actual
this
war we have to
continues
get
for like
actually
a
involved?
week?
Mm,
Yeah. No, not even just that. Like, what happens if China does something? Like, if they wait, 1 month, now Australia has like no fuel, then they're just like, oh yeah, we
yeah,
invade. Like,
yeah.
like, is there a backup plan to this? Like, are we really all this fragile? And I think what we like to believe is that, well, there are intelligent people, in power, and they're going to make sure that we're not this vulnerable. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But then these are the same idiots that, like, allow the Leering Center,
Yes,
fraud to
exactly,
take place.
exactly.
So like no, no, And by the way, these are also the same people that are like, oh, the church will take care of me.
Mm,
Hate to break it to you that it's the Lord's church, but it's still run by man, and it's not the church's responsibility to make sure you have food and that you have clothing. It's not the church's responsibility. And so these people, they're like, oh, I'm sure the government has some contingency plan. Like, oh, I'm sure the church, it's just going to take care of me when these things happen. It's like, what is the church? What is the government? They're people. They're people, and you know what people are? Dumb. That's what people are, dumb and selfish.
selfish.
Can you tell the
Mm,
truth? And can you think of someone other than yourself? And the answer to overwhelming majority says no. No, I'm gonna lie, and I'm gonna only think about me, and me and the Roo are taking off with the gas. And so
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Literally as long as there's some selfish dudes at the top, I feel like we're suffering. We're just going to keep suffering. And what do you do? What do you
yes.
do? As long as they can make a buck or whatever off what's going on, and as long as the tiny hats have something to say about it, we're all going to suffer. So
Yeah.
anyway, I honestly I just don't understand what's going on over here, and I just hope that Trump, even though he's a puppet at this point, I just hope he can make it this deal that he's trying to make with them so it can just blow over and go away. They're already telling people over here to stop driving to work and work from home and only drive to places that are necessary and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, man, like, how is this happening? So yeah, it's only going to get worse. But I mean, at the same time, if I look at it from a macro point of view, macro level, from a holistic sort of view, I have to expect that it's going to get worse too, right? Like it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
And this is just the gasoline that you drive in. The gasoline, the big thing that people aren't paying attention to is the fertilizer, as they never are. So, the fertilizer and all these things, and the gas prices affect your food. And so this all taking place in most of the baskets. Spring is the worst time for this to happen, because this is when they're planting. This is when they're doing this stuff. And they're deciding whether or not to make the investments. And if they're in any sort of country that has any sort of incentive to not plant stuff, man, this is one of
Mm,
those years that they're going to take that incentive. And people don't know that. Like in some places, like in America and in Europe, they will actually pay farmers not to grow stuff to keep the prices and stuff high, or in a reasonable amount, so with subsidies. So they'll actually pay farmers just to not farm. And
yep.
so, is that the same in Australia?
Yeah, we have nonsense like that happening here all the time. Funnily enough, there's a guy who's got famous off it. He has a company called the Spud Shed, and Spud is you guys call potato
Potato.
spuds? Yeah.
Yeah, the Idaho Spud.
So yeah, you go. So he, classic dude, far out. He's a funny looking guy. Like wears short shorts and he's got big black curly hair and he's like just a working man. And he farms potatoes. That was what he was known for. And he he grew too many of them. The government made him throw them all away. He wouldn't let us sell them. So what he did, being the guy he is, he gave them away for free. They can't stop him doing that. So he would just rock up and unload just trucks of potatoes probably at his store. I don't know where it was, and gave away free potatoes because otherwise he had to throw them away. And because this is, I don't know I can't remember what the actual reason was, but the government, it's all because the government can't handle whatever. And there's too many potatoes. The price is too low or
That's
whatever. Too
right.
much supply. It's like what? Who? Shut up.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on here? Yeah, throw them away. Good idea. You
And
know.
that's what's going to cause famine. And by the way, and what killed 30 million Christians over there in Russia. By the
Mm,
way, same group that seemed to cause that famine too. So, but no one really cares. But yeah,
hmm
so that's on the future. So if we're looking for things like the famine, if we're looking for these things like war causing famine and stuff, that takes place after the desolating sickness, it's like, I don't know, guys. These they seem to be checking off a lot of the boxes. So,
Yep. Yep. That's what
and
I honestly wonder if we're seeing the starting signs, or maybe they're already been and gone even, and we're in the throes of it right now. Do you know what I mean? Like it certainly seems absolutely possible, and we expect it. So yeah.
nothing needs to happen. Like that was crazy is people need to realize that like nukes don't have to fall. This
Mm.
war and the Strait of Hormuz
Look at
just
us.
needs to remain, and that's it. This is all that needs to happen, and we will collapse. If you
Mm.
don't have gas in your countries, it will go to the wild, wild west very
Oi,
quick.
talk about wars and rumors of wars. What
Yes.
is this for us? It's a rumor of war, basically. Like we're not even in it.
Yeah.
Wars and rumors of wars. That sentence has never not made sense, but never meant more to me now than ever before. Wars and rumors of wars. And look what
to,
happens.
to even
Australia's
hear
bending over.
just to even hear the report was vexing.
Exactly.
I
Yeah. Oh,
see
they're
it.
bombing Iran. Better jack the prices of everything you've ever loved. Yeah.
Everything that makes this experience palatable.
Yeah. So anyway, wild times. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll have weekly updates on this because it's probably going to keep going. So that's where we're at the moment. I guess it's positive to hear that you guys aren't feeling anything yet. I still don't understand how you guys are the ones in the war and not feeling anything, and we have nothing to do with it basically, and we're getting wrecked. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
And we're complaining about the little effect that we do feel. So like that's
Yeah.
it's just this is how unpopular this is for us. That it's like, they're like, oh, it's not that big a deal. We won't actually feel most of the effects of this. It'll be people like Australia that get screwed, and
Yeah.
we're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
That 10% increase in gas, and we don't want to be there. Let's get out. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Try 40. Um, we also Australia, I mean, I assume everywhere does, but Australia runs on trucks, like trucking between states and things to get food around and stuff.
trucking's huge.
All all of this is a flow-on effect. So imagine fuel affecting trucking, affecting everything that's transported, that therefore all our food, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So prepare, prepare
Pre-
yourselves.
Prepare for the worst.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to happier things. Number two, rip Chuck Norris. It's a happier thing. No, that was sad to hear. But I think he had a good go of it, didn't he? I don't know how old he was, but he was certainly up there. So, but death is reportedly in critical condition. Sources say Norris allowed it briefly just to see what it felt like. Oh yeah, it feels good. A little nap.
A little nap.
Finally some rest. I don't know how old was he? I'm curious. He gave it a real good go. Chuck Norris, age 86. I mean, how do you complain? That's pretty good. When you're seeing a lot of people dying in their 50s these days from all sorts of things.
Yep.
By the way, the guy who started OnlyFans died of cancer,
Cancer.
aged 43 he was. So I'm not going to say much about that, but yep, you
About
know.
who he was, how he also
Yeah, well,
happened to be a tiny hat, but
yeah,
seems
that
so.
too. But like, I mean, like, because I don't want to say that he got, it was some sort of punishment and he died young because of what he had sort of the chaos and terrible stuff he'd brought to the world. But I'm not saying nothing,
Well, I
you
mean,
know.
if he had gotten something like ocular cancer, like that'd be interesting. Like
Mm.
eye cancer of the eye. There was that really probably one of the most famous atheists of the last 100 years. And I'm trying to,
Dawkins.
yeah, and he got throat cancer.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure if it's Dawkins, but I think he was one of
And so it's
the
like
most
he, he
popular.
he goes around and all he does all day is just open his mouth and say that God doesn't exist, and God's like throat cancer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ironic.
Oh. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be funny. It'd be kind of ironic if it was something to do with your brain, some kind of brain cancer for the OnlyFans guy. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, eye
yeah.
cancer. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Chuck Norris. Yeah, it's sad. It's always sad when someone you've grown up with and whatever goes. But look, same time.
Obviously he's racist, so that's making his way everywhere. So obviously he's racist, and we're glad
Is
he's
it is
dead.
that is that what people are saying? Wow.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
everywhere. So yeah, obviously, we're glad he's dead because he was a racist. So, because he believed that he could beat up, Bruce Willis or something. I don't know. Like, some like whatever they do with their connections or whatever.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna miss the all the Chuck Norris jokes. I believe they will still continue. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It goes down in history. Yep. And he was apparently deeply Christian, so that's nice to know too. So, um, yeah. Anyway, it's sad news, and it's not at the same time. Again, I think he had a good run.
I agree. All
Yeah.
right. And lots of good Chuck Norris jokes like this. So you pay
Mm.
attention to them. So,
Classic. You know what it makes me think of though? Like we're on the cusp of losing a whole bunch of Hollywood,
oh
heroes
yeah.
that we grew up with. Sylvester Stallone's up there, and he's been making some. TV shows and things that I've actually he makes one called Tulsa King. That's a good show. Like, so he's still making stuff, and so he's getting up there too. I mean,
Clint is
Schwarzenegger.
like close.
Oh, Clint. How is Clint even alive? Yeah. Schwarzenegger. He's got to be getting up there. Um, yeah, there's gonna be a few others. We're kind of on that period in our generation where we start losing all of our heroes. I think. Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, it's what it is, isn't it?
But then
Okay,
we
number
have AI.
three.
It'll make it all better.
Yes, they can just make AI movies with perfect replicas of them.
Yep.
Army raises enlistment age to 42. Finally targets peak dad strength demographic. It's so true. Recruitment ads now feature back pain, lawn care expertise, and I've had enough. It's gold. So does that mean 42 is the limit? If you're over 42, you can't be enlisted. Is that what that means?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Oh, I'm 1 year off. So as long as I don't conscript this year, I'm good.
Yeah. Let's please, listen, please don't go to war for two
Yeah,
years. Oh, too late.
legit. I mean, it's an interesting one that I do believe in defending. I mean, you've got countless examples in the Book of Mormon, right, of defending your religion, your family, your faith, your country, defend like Captain Moroni and things, right? We've got really good examples of that. At the same time, I don't, when you don't believe in the leadership anymore, you don't believe in the cause for the war, you don't believe it's a justified war, like how do you, like, how can I be conscripted and be part of that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't, it's just not fair for a
Yeah.
start, but I just, ah, yeah,
No interest.
it's no interest. Never been interested in war, really.
Never been
Fighting wars.
interested. Never been interested in dying
Some old
for other.
man's argument. Yeah,
No thanks.
yeah. Because the
I'm
tiny
looking.
hats want to eradicate another race of people, we all got to go to war for them. Yeah, not interested.
I'm really just waiting for Fallout 5, and then it's
And can I have GTA 6, please, before we
yeah.
all
Before,
die in World
before
War Three? Yeah,
that's the joke. That's
yeah,
the joke.
yeah.
Millennials all die before we finally get GTA 6. That's
Oh man.
yeah.
Oh, it's so
Millennials
good though. Like,
get drafted.
recruitment ads now feature back pain, lawn care expertise, and I've had
Yeah.
enough. And barbecued meat specializations, and what's the other? What are the other? You know, cliches of 40-year-old dads. And the perfect physique is a dad bod and back pain and all. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Anyway, that's funny. So and also, is that because they're desperate then? I don't know.
Yeah, that's clearly what's going on, and I think that whenever things like this happen and they start looking at this stuff, people should rightly get worried for the worst, right? A plan for the worst, assume the worst, right? And then live accordingly, like every day, whatever the saying you want to go with, but like that's closely resembles that. I get worried when they're like, oh, we're not taking the draft off the table, and
Mm,
we're raising ages. They're looking at Gen Z, they're looking at Gen whatever it is, Alpha. I don't even know what they're calling these people now, but
yeah, I don't know.
they're looking at them and they're like, "Holy crap, we'd rather have a 42-year-old than you guys."
True that,
That
actually. I
that's
can I can
literally what
actually
they're saying.
totally see that being the case. Yeah. You can't get
Yeah.
Gen Z to look you in the eye or pick up a phone, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
And
That
because
just
of exactly
hasn't.
what you just said, you're debating it. You're still at 40, knowing everything you know, still saying like, "Man, I really don't want to do it, but man, like the idea of like not defending my country is still just so like, and my family, like the idea of it's so wrong. Man, you go to a Gen Z, you go Gen Alpha, and they're just like, no, like,
Yeah, no way. Mm,
no, no, the government's there to give me welfare. I'm living in my basement, the basement of my parents. Like, heck no, like I'll go to jail. I'm not going to some war. So like, it's not even just they won't take you. It's like they're looking at a demographic, and it's like if there's like a war in any kind of draft, I don't think that you're going to be able to fill them. I just don't. And so
Yeah,
I think you assume the worst. I think you should assume the worst from the government because nothing's accidental, right? There is a reason for this. So you might as well ask, well, what is the worst case scenario? And the worst case scenario is, you know, the what is it? Oz comes razor. The simplest answer is the right answer.
hmm
It's right a lot of the time, and they're not taking the draft off the table, and we're leading up to like one of the biggest wars ever, and boots on the ground, and blah 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 blah, and the younger generations absolutely suck, and so it makes sense. This makes sense to me, and people should be really worried about this.
true that. Well, do you know what the original age? The previous, I was 35. Just Googled it, 35. It's a big change, actually, massive. But
Huge.
also, what 40-year-old dudes enlisting in the army though? Do you know what I mean? Like not like intentionally. Like who does that? Oh, I've got kids and a wife. Oh, I better actually, actually I got a wife and kids. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to the war.
I was literally
Uh,
like my hand in the background's like this.
makes sense. Yeah.
Send me out in a glorious death. I've had
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just Googled it and it said the Marines, their age is still young. I shut the tab, but it might be 28, something like that. You can't enlist over 28 into the Marines or something. So, but the Army, yeah, sure enough. But yeah, that's a good point. Um, almost can't trust Gen Z to do anything. So
No.
take all the dads.
Take all the dads.
Yeah, but yeah, better not come to this, man. Better not.
It better not. But based off of number four, it's looking ugly. And this isn't even quite accurate anymore because it says here Iran reads Trump's ultimatum hits mark as read. Officials confirm message was received, ignored, and screenshotted for group chat. Uh,
For all the next imams or whatever they are
it-
in line.
yeah,
What are they called? The leaders, the Ayatollah or
Supreme
something?
Supreme
Yeah,
Ayatollah.
supreme leaders. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
But this isn't even quite accurate anymore because Iran has responded to some of it with demands.
yeah.
So yeah, now they're like, yeah, you're gonna pay for reparations of the damage you've done. We will retain control of the Strait of, the Strait of Hormuz or
Hormuz
whatever,
or whatever it is. Yeah.
and yada yada yada. So like they came back with their list of demands, and it's like, oh my goodness, like that's suicide. Like that's political suicide. If Trump agrees to even one of those, if even one of those, it's political suicide. Oh, we agreed to now pay them reparations for this, and not only us. It won't be Israel. It'll be us
Yeah.
for some
Us.
reason.
Yeah, yeah. What the heck? Yeah. Well, because I say royal we send Israel $4 billion a year. So all of their money is our money. You
Yeah,
know,
we gave money to Iran. We gave money to Israel. We launched all of our missiles. Israel launched all of their missiles they bought with our money. Iran responded with missiles that they bought with our money. And then we're going to give them both money as reparations. Yeah,
yeah, wild.
yeah, so
So I actually didn't know about that. I didn't know they had some demands because I just saw Trump say, yeah, the talks went well. We've given him 5 days because he gave him 48 hours. Now we're giving him
yep.
5 days to sort of come to an agreement. I didn't see any further than that. So that's worrying, actually, because I was kind of hoping he might be able to work it out, but of course not. But what that means is,
Closure, here are the list of demands. Listen to that. It's closure of all U.S. military bases in the region.
yeah, I mean,
Financial compensation for damages,
it's not going to happen.
guaran- guarantees that fighting will not resume again in a couple weeks, or they get to keep all the money. And the other one I just said, they retain the Strait of Hormuz. So
Straight.
like these are
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Yeah. And it's not going to happen. I mean, you know Trump, right? We know him, and also he's owned, so we know this ain't going to happen. So do you know what the alternative is, right? If they don't agree, you know what he's going to do? They're going to attack all their power plants,
Yeah,
which is, I mean, terrible for Iran, but also that's just kicking the
that's the oil. That's
line in the
it.
teeth. Yeah, yeah, and that's more oil screwed for us. So boy,
That's it. Game over for oil at that point in time.
yeah. So good times, people. Good
People don't
times.
realize that even if these wars end, and even if these wars only lasted a week, this is how screwed up this is. Do you realize it's taken in some cases 100 years? I looked it up, 100 years, not five. Not It's taken 100 years to build up infrastructure, and these with our bombs and the way we do things, it could be destroyed in a day. So people like the war was only a week. What happened? You can get sent back to the Stone Age in 1 week. One
Yeah.
week because it will take you 5, 10, 20
Yes.
years to rebuild the infrastructure while
Yep.
you're all dying
Hmm.
because you won't have any food. You won't have it,
Yeah.
like you are toast. You're
If
toast. They
something
said
if something knocks out all your power plants and
the
all your
EMP. Yep,
transformers, you can't get replacement transformers for years. They have to be built. You can't, and because
correct.
everything would be cooked, everything would be EMP'd, be cooked. You can't even
Yeah.
get them. You wouldn't be able to get them. So we'd be literally powerless for years. Yeah.
They had this is done by the CIA. Very popular. Preppers will source it all the time because it was so popular. The CIA, the government was like, do a study on what the effects would be if a large scale EMP hit over the United States. And an EMP, mind you, does zero damage to humans. All it does
Hmm.
is wipe out all these power grids, all of these generators. It wipes all those things out. They came back and said that over 90% of the population would be dead within a year.
Mm.
90%. That's what they came back and they said like 90% of America would the population be gone within 1 year. And the biggest problem, the biggest thing that they said that they can't they know it would wipe out most of us, but it would be so quick and was sewage. It was disease. Is that you would have 300 million people crapping everywhere in the streets and stuff, and the disease that would cause it, and the damage it would do to the water systems, and because we would just turn into East India, folks, and we'd be dead. We'd be dead. We'd be dead within 90% of us within a year. So this whole
Yep.
idea, like, oh, it's only a couple weeks. How do they do this much damage? It's like we don't realize how fragile this experience that we have is. We just don't.
Yep. Yeah. We're teetering on the edge constantly. Yeah. So
So get your
it's
year's
crazy.
food, man. Get your years
Yeah.
of food at least, because if you could just survive a year, if you can just where you're gonna poop, you know how you're gonna deal with your sanitation, and you can just eat and drink for 1 year,
Yeah.
you will outlive 90% of America. So I mean
Yep.
that's insane.
Man, water's got to be the hardest bit, eh? Having enough water for a while. On my on our new house that we're building right now, we have a massive water tank, 111,000 liter, but that's, even that's not enough to, last very long. And but what I really want to put on there is a water bore. Do you guys use bore? Do you guys have bores over where you are? Do you ever do that?
I'd have to look up what that is.
Oh, so basically you drill a, 50-foot hole or however deep it's going to be down into the ground and put a pump on it and basically pump up groundwater of your own.
Oh,
It's very, very, well, was very common here and it's still fairly common here.
yeah,
And so in Western Australia in particular, we have, I think it's an artesian well below, like, so I can't remember how far down it is. It's pretty far. So there's a ton of water below us, fresh water below us, and people pump it up. And I grew up on bore water. We didn't have like water connected to our house. We had a bore in the yard, and it would be pumping up really
yeah,
nice water, like really crystal clear, good water for us to drink. Then the government came through and put everyone on what they called scheme water, which was basically connecting everyone's houses to the main water lines or what have you. And trying to, I don't think they criminalize it, but they really put in real, they don't want people having their own water sources, to tell you that much. They don't want people like pumping their own water out of the ground. So, but that's what I want to get on our at our new house is our own water source directly out of the ground. That'll sort that out. So yeah, water, food, water. But yeah, so
yeah, yeah. We have those. Yeah, it's very similar to just a well water.
well,
Um,
yeah, you guys probably have wells and things. Yeah, I don't know how high your water table is. I always hear that
it
our
just says
water
that
table is very high.
yours is lower because it says here that
So, well,
borehole is typically drilled deeper than most wells.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know. It's very strange because I always hear that we can't have basements here because our water table's so high. So if we start digging down, we hit water or like watery soil very quickly. That's my understanding. But then at the same time, the artesian water, the actual drinkable water, is pretty far down, I think. But I don't know, man. But
Yeah.
either way, hopefully this is a wake up call to anyone who listens that they need to get themselves sorted. You know what I mean? It's probably
Yes.
the main thing to take from this.
And don't trust the government and don't trust the church. Like
And
they're
don't leave it to
not
the
there.
last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, don't leave it to the last minute. Just make some of these changes. I'll tell you what, that's why I moved to Michigan. This is the largest reserves of fresh water in the world are in this area. So
Yeah.
that's why I
Real
moved
good idea.
why I moved here.
Hmm.
Now I just need to dig a crap hole, apparently. But I'm
Yeah,
surrounded
I
by
mean,
Amish. They're gonna help me.
you'd end up with an outhouse. You know what I mean? Probably, wouldn't you?
You
You'd have
should.
to have an outhouse with a hole and you just move it around. Bury the hole, dig a new hole, move the outhouse over it. That's what it will come to, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
Please prepare for
That
that.
yay.
Yeah. Good times.
So get used to that, folks. But that's okay. 'Cause you don't need look. You don't need to worry about any of this, folks. Any of this, really, because the world's looking up. Glass ceilings are being broken.
The Nasdaq is
The
doing
Nest
fine.
over 50,000, and women can now be Sunday school presidents.
That was
Folks,
super important to me.
I mean, it's the gender war is the war that really we need to talk about. Breaking those glass ceilings. Women need to get their positions. We're finding out more and more that women run everything, and it's about time they get the credit that they deserve. And that's what matters. So
I
yeah,
haven't
so
actually heard like is there a general commenting consensus or whatever about this? It doesn't really matter to me at all. I don't know.
it's either yay, this is
Mm,
awesome glass ceiling, or confusion, because the
mm,
rules once again don't apply the same way. So for example, people are confused at why it's still not allowed for there to be primary presidencies that are men.
yeah. Well, yeah.
So like you
And
once again,
I
because
yeah.
you're the ones that keep saying, "Oh, equality, equality, equality." Well, if that's what you want, then this is clearly not what you're shooting for. It's
Mm,
not. It's supremacy. It's dominance. That's what you're shooting for. Just be honest. And the other one, the question is that keeps coming up is, why is it that it's a requirement for men, if they're going to be a Sunday school presidency, that they have the Melchizedek priesthood? Why is that a requirement? If you're allowing women to be Sunday school presidents, why would
yeah,
men
interesting.
having the Melchizedek priesthood be a requirement? So you
Mm,
have two things. You have it's a glass ceiling, we're all happy, and then you're getting really weird cryptic things from like the General Release Society presidency, and like I've heard some like some interviews with them where they're like, you need to understand that the brethren like love you and they think about you so much, and like what you need to understand is you need to be patient, and they're releasing things and implementing things when it's the right time, and and it's at the appropriate time and at the appropriate situation. And I'm like, what? Like a lot of cryptic weird things that I'm hearing saying, like what do you mean by that? Like are you saying that we're gonna that like people are gonna hear a lot of different things with that? Are you are the LGBT are going to be like, oh, see, so the brethren do want to open this up in the temple. They're just waiting for the church to become less bigoted. Like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, that is what people are going to hear with that, whether or not that's true or not. And if it is true, I'd like to know, because I'd like to know how bad the rot has gotten in the church. Like, I'd
mm.
like to know that information. So the fact that you're hiding that information and being, as what would the word for the off, obfuscation that where you're just not what's the word
Obfuscating. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
obfuscating.
yeah.
Like it's scaring, man. It's scary to me. So um, either
Yeah,
people have
interesting.
bigger fish to fry because their lives have meaning, and they're simply just confused at what at the implementation of this and the wording of it, or this is like the most important thing ever, and we're ready for more. So that's the reaction I've
I
been getting on
mean,
these.
so playing. I'm an optimist usually by default, and so if I just assume that this is revelation from God, and he's just like, it's time that we have the possibility of having women Sunday school presidencies, I'm like, cool. Like if that's what the Lord wants, great. Obviously, He does want it, or they wouldn't have put this. I mean, or He's happy with it to be a thing, or He wouldn't have allowed it to sort of occur, and the prophet and the leaders of the church wouldn't have put this in. But I'm kind of like, is this because of it's just the time, or is it because there's been this sort of annoying sort of why are there not women Sunday school presidencies? Why are there not why do we not have the priesthood? Why do we, what can we, and they're like, oh, here, have this, like you can have this now, just to stop this. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is, but I'd like to know. And because I don't know. This means literally nothing to me. I'm going to be honest. This doesn't matter to me at all. I don't care if you have women in the Sunday school presidency. I really just don't care. Like, who cares? Apparently, it means a lot to some people. I tell you what, I
Yeah,
wouldn't like to hear. You mentioned having men in a primary presidency. If that happened, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like to see that happen. And not because I don't, it's not like all men are bad, all men are evil. I can tell you that because I believe I'm not evil. But it's not all men, but it's always men, if you catch my drift, right? And so, but hell, you can have bad women too. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't like that just because, man,
actually,
I,
actually, there are in fact more women that
well,
actually
that's even more worrying now.
just see just so you know, look at the numbers. Across the board. If you want to talk about
Really?
children, yeah, children that get abused by parents or parents that actually murder their children, females are actually
Yeah, geez. Oh, that's great.
that's actually a misnomer that we like to teach.
Well,
So
we
no,
can't
actually,
win
women.
either way then. Oh,
So
bring on the male, bring on the male primary presidencies then.
yeah, they are known to drive their
uh,
babies off into the lake, and
yeah.
men are not. Think about abortion. Who are cheering in the
No, that's
street to
true
have their
too.
kids ripped to pieces? Most of the
Yeah.
people fighting against abortion are men. It's like,
I
you
think I
know,
think I'm the one thing I'm would be concerned about is more like sexual abuse of, and it's I think in that specific instance, I think it'd have to be more common with men. I would think. The other stuff, I could totally see it being more women.
man, you should see some.
But
I should send you some documentaries. The problem is the form of abuse. Like the men's form of abuse is more it's intrusive or aggressive. But women will form is a lot more hidden. It's a lot more easy to hide it. But it
yeah,
actually takes place more often. So anyway, I'll send you some documentaries of some stuff where
I don't love hearing that. Because
that it's crazy.
just in my ward alone, like we've had just there's been lots of things, and in our stake, lots of like there's legal cases going on right now in my stake
Yeah,
over things like this.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's wild, dude. Anyway, you
Pay
can't trust
attention to your
anyone.
kids.
You know what? The bottom rule is you can't trust anyone, not anyone. Women, men, anyone. You can't trust anyone. And my kids do not leave my sight unless you know, like I do trust my primary presidency actually, but for the most part, my kids ain't leaving my sight. Do you know what's crazy? We're talking about this. We had my mum's birthday party. Actually, that's what we had this week. My mum had her 70th. We had a 70th birthday party. Um, and all our family was there, minus my one sister who's kind of antisocial at this point. But we were having this conversation, and oh man, I just gave too much run up. I can't even remember what I was going to say. What did we just say?
The children, primary
Children.
presidents. Children don't leave your sight.
That's right. That's what it is. Me and Ammon were talking to my mum, and we're like, man, when we were growing up, we didn't like even when we were young, like I'd go out, I'd get home, and I'd be gone from 3:30 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. or whatever, whenever I expected dinner time to be. They wouldn't know anything, man, about where we are. There was no
Nope.
mobile
No.
phones. There was no anything. Like I would just be gone. I can't. There's no way in heck I would ever let my kids do that now. Do you know what I mean? I can't. No way. No way. And then when we were in our like early teens and late teens or whatever, we wouldn't come home at all. Like we'd go to school and we wouldn't come home at all until 11 p.m. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I mean, you could probably allow that more. They're teenagers or whatever. But even still, right now, the way the world is, there's just no way. There's just no way I could let that happen now. So, like you can't trust anyone. You can't trust anything. The world's a mess, and holy moly. Anyway,
Oh
don't
man,
trust
yeah.
anyone.
I remember those walking in the dark in the street light and eating my
Hmm.
A plus. Albertsons had some cheap soda, A plus sodas. Yeah, I remember those days, man. And I would just think, how did I get away with that?
Yeah.
It's like, holy
Yep.
cow! Like anything could have happened, and it was just like, no.
And we were up to mischief. I'm not going to lie. We were up to some mischief. We weren't like breaking laws and things really, but like we were, we got up to a lot of mischief. You know what I mean? And my parents didn't know nothing, knew nothing about it.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
miracle none of us got hurt.
it's honestly, geez, Louise, yeah, crazy times.
Yeah, that's
So
insane.
yeah, but yeah, don't trust anyone. You can't trust anyone, and don't let your kids leave your sight if you can avoid it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why we're homeschooling. I don't trust flipping anyone.
Homeschooling
I will
is
not. I will
awesome.
not let it be. I will not let it be my fault. You know, I'll never forgive myself if something happens and it's my fault. You know.
I agree. I would be the same way.
Mm. And I mean, I already like, if I accidentally hurt my kids in some, like I remember when one of my daughters was Blake, my eldest, when she was really young, and I tried to trim her fingernails. I was trying to trim her fingernails, and I had the normal nail clipper, and I wasn't careful enough, and I trimmed the tip of her finger off, and she was screaming, and I felt bad. You can imagine how bad I felt. I felt so bad. Like it wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough where she screamed, and man, I was basically crying. I felt so bad. So I'm like, one little thing like that, I'm never forgive myself. And anything worse than that happened, boy, yeah, watch your kids.
Watch it.
Alrighty.
Spiritual,
Oh,
spiritual.
this is it.
Come on, let's get
Unless there
spiritual.
was something else.
Let's talk spiritual. Let me get you spiritual. Let me get you spiritual. Oh, spiritual, spiritual. Pump it down. Give me your spiritual thought. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot
Smooth
how we
that one.
worked. I forgot how you worked in that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. At the end of that one, that one's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's good. And those are hot.
Uh,
Trademark
it's
Three Brothers. Nobody better.
but you can have them for free if you want
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you took them from Topher, yeah, thank him for him. Give him credit.
Well, and here again, AI made them. They're based off my original little jingles, but AI made them a million times better. So
Made him
this
real.
is the crazy world we live in.
So this is the spiritual thought of the week. We got another quote from Joseph Smith Jr. Almost like we like the guy. Almost like he's the prophet, head of this dispensation, the greatest prophet ever lived, save for obviously if we include Jesus Christ in that list. Jesus obviously was a prophet. He was more than that. But as far as just a lowly prophet's concerned, Joseph is the greatest. And yet, man, do we just neglect his writings and his teachings like you wouldn't believe. So this is one of his quotes that is absolutely phenomenal. President Smith says here, continued by speaking of the difficulties he had to surmount ever since the commencement of the work in consequence of aspiring men, great big elders, as he called them, who caused him much trouble, to whom he had taught the things of the kingdom in private councils. They would then go forth into the world and proclaim the things he had taught them as their own revelations. So Joseph Smith has a problem here with him teaching people stuff And then those people going off and teaching it as though they had come up with it themselves.
Sounds
Said,
familiar. Hmm.
sounds familiar. And Joseph Smith said that same aspiring disposition will be in this society. It will be among the saints and must be guarded against. We must be guarded against. So here's the commitment here. Give credit where credit's due. Brothers and sisters, when somebody does something, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, your teacher, anybody, they give credit where credit's due. Thank them. This world is a thankless world. And I'm not talking about for the praise of men. I'm not talking to be seen of men. There are some really good people out there doing a lot of good things, shoveling people's driveway, taking the trash out, and it doesn't need to be much. Just, I see you. I see what you're doing. You know what? This really matters to men. I gotta be honest.
Yes,
Men's love language is appreciation. I
it is.
see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, and I really appreciate you taking out the trash. I see what you're doing, and I really give credit where credit's due. And don't steal other people's stuff. I know we love to do this, right? We love to do this where it's like, Ashley will quilt something and I'll be like, we quilted something, and it's like, well, I didn't really do something. Or, hey, we had a kid. And it's like, mostly Ashley gave birth. I didn't really do much. Or, when you're doing yard work outside and Ashley's like, we did this thing. And it's like, it was mostly me. But like, we love to take the credit, right? But it's like, give credit where it's due and express gratitude. This is the commitment. Express gratitude to someone this week, in your life this week who has helped you, who's made a difference. And I don't mean that by giving them money. I don't mean support priestcraft. I mean by just saying, keep it up. Be a cheerleader, as I've said in the past, right? Give credit where credit's due. Express some gratitude for some people. It goes a long way, man. It goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's spot on, right? So with men, I think you're spot on when you say appreciation is. You probably can't speak for all men, but I think straight away I'm like, yes, like a little, like you don't know how little we really need to be like bolstered up
Content.
and like,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
yeah, content and to keep going. I really don't need a lot. Um, and the thing is, if we're doing and here's the problem, right? If we don't get enough praise, we we'll end up start like going like, for me at least, I'm like, if I don't get noticed for doing anything,
I
I
might as
have
well
to
do
like,
nothing.
yeah, well, it's that. It's like either okay, lean into like, okay, I'm not going to do anything, or I like kind of go, hey, like I have to point it out, and that also just isn't the right way of going around it. Because if we're
Fishing
doing
for
things right,
compliments.
that's right. Like you're kind of like,
Yeah.
look what I did, look what I did, but we shouldn't have to do that. So if we're doing things correctly, um, we shouldn't even be having like even doing it for show or doing it for thanks. But if things are working correctly, we should still get appreciation for it just because, right? And like I'm saying, it's a weird juxtaposition, that one, because either way, like we shouldn't be asking or wanting praise, but people should, like I'm just thinking of me and my wife here. Praise should come just because of what we do. And again, it takes so little for me to be like if my wife says thanks to me for something, I'm like, oh, like it means so much. Like no
You're
kidding.
welcome.
Yeah, like no kidding. Like seriously, it means
Uh,
so much. So you don't even know. So I think that's a really good point and a really good commitment. And so thanks someone. Yeah, that's a really good one. And then just the other side of this is on the great big elders, right? People, what I'm seeing and what I've learned and what I've noticed is that people love having information that they think other people don't have, don't know,
yep.
don't understand, don't whatever, and kind of like lording it over them.
The
You
spirit
know
of a
what I mean?
secret combination. Yes. Yes, I
Yes,
do.
yes. And then the gain comes into it as well, right? So very, very, very rarely, and
Yep.
we would be one of the exceptions, very rarely do people then get this information and then want to just teach people for the sake of helping people to learn, grow, understand, and become more like the savior. Very, very rarely people do it out of the love of their fellow man and the goodness of their heart. And what very most of the time ends up happening is they get information and a lot of the time they've taken it from somewhere else and don't give the credit anyway, as we've seen. And then they want Venmo payments for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's like
They package it, they sell
so
it. They package it, they sell it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, people just love having information. Like I see it all the time, and it's really frustrating actually. And it's like in school. It makes me think of being in a school. And I had a friend, one of my best friends actually, even to this day, still one of my best friends, and he was very smart in school, and he did a lot of study, and so I can kind of get this, but he would study for an exam and or a test or whatever, and not help you at all. Like, and I'm not asking to like give me the answers to tests and stuff, but like he wanted to ensure that he got the best score possible, and he wanted to make sure that his score was better than your score, even though you're his best
Yeah.
friend. That was the kind of guy he was, and I used to hate that, man, because if I had anything and I could help you, I'd tell you. I don't care. Like anything I've learned, I'm going to tell you because
Same.
I love you and I hope you do well as well. He was more like, no, no, no. I've studied a lot. I've learned a lot. This is me, and my test score matters, and yours doesn't matter to me at all. So that's what that just made me think of it, that kind of thing. And so don't be that guy, you know. Um, yeah, and in this instance, don't be the great big elder that gets some information and lords it over others, and definitely don't Venmo it, don't sell it.
And it's rare. People need to understand this. Like,
Yeah,
not just people that are like what Topher just described, but like even just instances where you have somebody who has something and he just wants you to be better, like genuinely wants to be better. And so these people in that condition understand that like they're surrounded, even their best friends, as Topher said, aren't like that. And so it's difficult to be like that. It's difficult to constantly try to remain being that, seeing everyone else acting the way they are. So just like a little bit of, hey man, I saw what you did there, with the test scores. Like, it would have been easy to be like him, and let alone in retaliation the way he is. But man, I appreciate that you didn't let that affect who you were, and you stayed being the guy who just wanted people to be better. Like that, and mean it, and genuinely mean it, because like these people in our life, I'm telling you, like your grandma, these people in your life that you just knew, like they weren't trying to get something out of you. They genuinely just wanted you to be happy. They are so few. If you actually think about it, these people you have, like even your kids who you love, right? It's like they're not even in a position to provide that for you in most cases, right? And so like these people in your life that are like that, man, thank them.
yep, yep, absolutely.
Well, man, you know what? Ammon's not here, and this is going to be like a 5-hour podcast. This is what happens when you don't get Ammon here, falling asleep. Because Topher and I are night owls. We could just talk all day. Ammon's like, I'm falling asleep. Let's
And he's often the one that's like, all right, go on, next one, next one, next one. And we're just
yes.
like talking for days about one little thing. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's get this out of here.
All right. So we got the commitment there. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. So okay, well I think unless you got anything else to add, I think we done it. I think we done it, people. I have no idea how long this has been. It's probably been at least an hour. Maybe this is probably almost at 2 hours actually. Probably our longest one yet somehow. So anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you, brothers and sisters. That wraps up this week's Three Brothers podcast. Thank you for joining us. And if you did accidentally click, well, if you're still here, I hope you did learn a thing or two. And hit us up in the comments if you've got anything to add, anything to ask, anything to contribute. And again, please, the comments, we will use them in our videos. So if you've got something to say or add, hit us up with them. We are two of your favorite three brothers. We love you. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. And we'll catch you next week. Same sort of time. Love
Cue
ya.
the beta music.
You pay for.